G'day, omdevaji, Sheshnag Mandir. What on earth is Kundalini? It's available on Amazon. You can subscribe just there. Not to Amazon, to this YouTube channel. I just want to do a video on the distorted perspective of reality. I think everyone's got a distorted perspective of reality, myself. And we go around, basically, in the words of, I think it was Ram Dass. He said, we're just going around reassuring ourselves that we're okay throughout the everyday life. Maybe it's Ram Dass. He certainly said that we're just walking each other home, and home being the unified state, which is the undistorted perspective of reality, when you know the real from the unreal. And that's what the gurus and all the sages know, that ultimately there's pure awareness that this reality stems from into the dualistic experience of manifested creation, and in that we have this thing called life and the expression of life. Everything manifested is known as Shakti, or the feminine. The pure untainted awareness is seen as pure Shiva. We get that confused a little bit too. Through our filtration systems we become distorted and then misrepresent Shiva and Shakti. But it's all Shakti. Even the masculine expression of the human framework through the left side of the brain, that's a part of Shakti. Only in the experience of dharana, the higher stages of concentration, and through withdrawal of the mind from the senses, can we be able to balance our chakras and the masculine and feminine energy in our own being to be able to let the Kundalini rise through Sushumna. But that's the undistorted perspective of reality. Once you reach the unified state, you come back to the human experience, and your validation needs up through your own belief system, where you get yourself reflected at yourself through other people. And some people you agree with and feel closer to and more open with. Some people you feel confronted by and invalidated by. I personally like what I've come to realise as the motley crew. And these are the people that are in my life, and I think about it right back from the time I started school. I've always had friends that are on the verge of reality. Most of my primary school friends were really smart but really unwise and ended up in jail or selling drugs enough to be able to buy their first house. The functional people have always been a bit too bland for me. In high school I hung out with so-called functional people, but soon enough I lost contact with them. Then after realising God and moving to Tasmania, I've been very isolated. I've had a lot to do with addicts and people of the musical and creative paradigm. So their distorted perspective of reality, where they're in half in the unified reality and half in the physical reality, or more in the unified reality and less in the physical reality, that's really validated me. So I felt comfortable with that. But my perspective of reality is distorted as well. It's distorted by my values and beliefs of what I hold to be true and untrue. I've come to realise that the best way to embody myself is, if I get invalidated or triggered, then I can breathe and feel into my body. I'm not really good at it because I'm only starting to slowly get the handle of it, or a handle on it, and in that it takes a lot of practice. I choose the cognitive approach to self-awareness. I break everything down and try and see myself in the grandstand, observing myself on the field, which is one way to go about it, but it's not everyone's way. Some people are really just heartfelt people that genuinely care about everyone. I'm probably a bit more selfish and pull back a little bit. Is it selfish or self-full? Because I live on the verge of society, like on the fringe, I find that energetically I'm so sensitive that the overwhelm of the density of the city is so inharmonious to my own experience that I can't be healthy in it for a long period of time. So then in that, I find a crutch that will supplement or dull the pain around my inharmonious experience of the energy that I'm currently bombarded with, so I can escape into the spiritual realm in an unhealthy way. Anyway, that's the distorted perspective of reality. And I try not to bombard people with that distorted perspective of reality anymore. I keep it to myself, and then I talk to people about what they think's relevant for them, and in that then I listen to their distorted perspective of reality without judgment and allowing and accepting them, so they feel better about their distorted perspective of reality. But we're all distorted until we have that unified perspective, and then come back to earth and fumble around, and sometimes we attract people that also have that unified perspective, sometimes we don't. The thing for me is being happy and comfortable in my own perspective of that, and not needing to throw it out there onto other people so I feel better about them through my validation if they agree with me. There you go. How distorted are you? And can you bring it into your heart and accept your own distortion and accept and allow other people's expression of their distortions? Sometimes you've got to pull them up or just avoid them, but somehow you've got to be content in yourself and not seek the validation from others. Share the world. Om Namah Shivaya. Hara Hara Mahadev.